And so COVID-19 has impacted all of us every day, right? In how we interact with each other, especially, but in how we go about all of our activities of daily living. And you can imagine that's even more of an impact in a hospital. Because here in the hospital, in addition to having all of the things that we have in the community with social distancing, hand hygiene, wearing your mask, we're also caring for patients who have COVID and protecting other patients from getting COVID. We are really grateful to Delta Dental for their very generous gifts to both the Crisis Fund and the Employee Crisis Fund. These are two really important donations for us. So on the employee crisis side, we actually have a team from Human Resources that accepts applications and sort of vets those to make sure that we're using those funds to support people during this time, because there are a lot of challenges people have as this is going on. On the larger crisis fund side, one of the things that has been really important and we have used this gift for is communication between patients and staff and patients and their families virtually. So we purchased over 100 iPads, and we use those iPads because, as we all know now from COVID, you can't have visitors if you're a COVID patient, right? And that's a deprivation that we as humans just really have a hard time dealing with. And so that gift has enabled us to create an electronic means for people to FaceTime with each other, to see each other, to be able to communicate, both to give the patients, friendly support from their families, but also to give the families reassurance that their loved one is doing well, even though they can't physically go in and see them. And so that's been huge. And then the other way we've used it is between patients and staff. If there are maybe a doctor who's doing a consult and doesn't need to go into the room right then, that saves us on using personal protective equipment, that avoids interactions that we don't need to have. So it's really been tremendous to have the opportunity to provide that level of virtual connectivity for people with a new disease that we really weren't sure how it was going to evolve and how we were going to respond to.
There's so much need in the state, and there's so many areas that you can support. But for us, the health component really stood out initially as we could just, again, see the need for supplies, for equipment, for care for healthcare workers, for all of the outreach that they were doing. It's just so unprecedented, even for companies that have significant endowments or have solid foundations. This is just unanticipated. But the healthcare workers really are the heroes in this battle. And we're really proud to be able to show some piece of support.
It's not just the actual gift and what we're able to do with the gift in terms of communication and support for patients and for families and for staff. It's also appreciation of the fact that people were moved to give. Because just recognizing that they know what the work is that's going on and that they realize how challenging this can be and that they appreciate that is tremendous. So thank you for both the gift and the intent of the gift.